Okay, so you know this story. You've seen it, you've read it 1,000 times. The fake relationship, the marriage of convenience, especially when there's a billionaire involved. It's a formula that absolutely works, and it sells millions. So today, we're going to dive in and deconstruct exactly why this trope is so powerful.
But really, think about it for a second. Why are we so obsessed with this idea? Why does a relationship that literally starts as a business transaction feel so romantic? What is it about two strangers making a deal that we just can't get enough of?
Well, it's because this is way more than just a story. It's a perfectly engineered fantasy. It's a modern fairy tale. And to really understand how it all works, we're going to use the novel The Billionaire's Secret Vow as our case study and pick apart the blueprint behind this whole billion-dollar idea.
All right, so every great story like this kicks off with two people from completely different worlds. Let's meet our main characters.
So on one side, we've got Lena Carter. She's an artist. She runs her family's vineyard. She's full of passion, but she's about to lose everything. And on the other side, there's Ethan Sinclair. He is the classic ruthless billionaire architect who, believe it or not, is also about to lose his entire empire. So you see the setup, right? She needs a miracle, and he just needs a wife. It is the perfect storm. Two worlds about to collide out of pure desperation.
So how exactly do these two get together? Well, it all comes down to a business deal. A really high-stakes one that just happens to look like a marriage proposal.
For Lena, the pressure is on. I mean, really on. The bank has just told her no more extensions. She has exactly 30 days to come up with the money to save her family's vineyard. 30 days. That's it. It's an impossible situation, and that's exactly the point.
Now, you'd think a billionaire like Ethan wouldn't have any problems, right? Well, his is just as bad. Turns out, his grandfather's will has this totally bizarre clause in it. He has to be married by his 35th birthday, which is just 2 months away, or he loses everything. The whole empire. Gone.
And that brings us to his solution. This isn't about romance, it's a pure transaction. He lays it out for her, cold as ice. I need a wife. It's a straightforward arrangement, 1 year, no strings attached. It's a contract. He saves her vineyard, she saves his inheritance. Everybody wins, right?
And this, right here, this is the key to the whole story. Ethan's entire philosophy is that emotions are a liability. They just complicate things. That one belief is the wall that this entire story is about to spend its time breaking down. The stage is set for a huge battle between logic and love. But here's the thing about contracts. They're only as strong as the people who sign them. And this deal, well, it has one major unwritten clause that's about to throw a wrench in everything. Actual human connection.
So Lena agrees, but she adds her own terms, making the boundaries crystal clear. Strictly business, no emotions, and definitely no intimacy. It's a rule she creates to protect them both, but let's be honest, it's a rule that is just begging to be broken.
And oh boy, it does not take long for those cracks to start showing up. Their whole carefully planned arrangement starts to fall apart, one key moment at a time, when their chemistry becomes totally impossible to ignore.
It starts at their courthouse wedding. You know, the officiant gets to the part, you may kiss the bride. And what's supposed to be this quick, formal little peck for show, it turns into something else entirely. The book calls it unscripted and raw, a real moment of electric connection that leaves both of them completely stunned. And then the pressure gets even more intense. They have to do a photo shoot to sell this fake marriage to the public. They're being told to pose intimately, get closer, and then the photographer demands a kiss with heat. They're literally forced into another moment that just blurs all the lines, and that strictly business wall starts to crumble.
And this is the turning point. After that photo shoot, Ethan says what they're both thinking. He confronts this undeniable thing that's happening between them. With that one simple line, the whole game changes. The pretense that this is all just a contract is shattered. They can't deny it anymore.
So, okay, we've seen how this story works. Now let's pull back the curtain a little and ask that bigger question. Why does this formula get us every single time?
At its core, what we're talking about is the classic marriage of convenience trope. Basically, it's any story where a practical deal forces two people together and living in each other's pockets inevitably sparks real feelings. And that's where you get that amazing conflict between what they agreed to and what they actually feel. But a definition doesn't really get to the heart of it, does it? What's the real fantasy that we're tapping into when we get hooked on a story like this? Well, it's actually got a few layers.
First off, there's a sense of safety. This relationship starts with clear rules and an exit date. It's like love without all the initial risk. Then, of course, you have the incredible tension. We love watching those forbidden feelings start to break through the contract. It also plays on this really powerful fantasy of transformation, the idea that true love can change even the most cold and guarded person. And finally, it's all about connection. It reinforces this deep-seated hope we all have that genuine intimacy can grow from anywhere, even a business deal.
And this quote from Ethan, it just says it all. This is the ultimate payoff. The original deal doesn't even matter anymore. The cold, practical billionaire has realized he doesn't care about the contract. He wants a real connection with a real person. The transaction has officially become a relationship.
So, I guess that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. When a relationship is stripped of all the usual romantic stuff and is instead forged under intense pressure, does that make the love that grows from it less real? Or maybe, does it make it even more?